Imagine waking up in a town you've lived in your entire life. The same streets, the same houses, the same people you've known for decades. Now imagine going to bed that night. By the time you wake up, it's all gone. No neighbours, no pets, no signs of life. Just empty streets, locked doors, and silence. It sounds impossible, like something from a nightmare. But there is a town in modern history where something very close to this actually happened. This town was called Centralia, Pennsylvania. In the early 1900s, it was nothing unusual. A small coal mining town, hard-working families, kids walking to schools, shops, churches, neighbours who knew each other by name. Coal was everything here. It paid the bills, fed families, it kept the town alive. And for decades, it worked. Until one day, something changed. It started quietly, smoke rising from cracks in the ground, near an old mine pit. Nothing dramatic, nothing urgent. Some people thought it was steam, others assumed it was just natural gas, something mining towns were used to. So they ignored it. But the smoke didn't stop, and slowly, the ground itself began to feel wrong. By the 1960s, the truth had surfaced. There was a fire burning underground, deep within the coal seams beneath Centralia. Once a coal seam catches fire, it's not like a normal blaze. It doesn't need oxygen the way surface fires do. It can burn for decades, even centuries. The fire moved invisibly through abandoned tunnels, heating the ground below, weakening foundations, and releasing toxic gases. Then came the moment that shattered the illusion of control. A young boy was playing in his grandmother's yard when the ground suddenly collapsed beneath him, opening into a deep, smoking sinkhole. He was pulled away just in time. The hole wasn't the earth giving way, it was proof. Centralia was no longer safe. After that, everything changed, but not all at once. There was no mass evacuation, no dramatic exodus. Instead, people began leaving quietly. One family decided it wasn't worth the risk. Another followed. Then a school closed. A business shut its doors. Street by street, the town thinned. By the 1980s, the American government had stepped in, offering to buy homes and relocate residents. Some accepted immediately. Others refused to leave their home. Their memories were buried here, just like the coal. But eventually, most had left, and Centralia became something stranger than abandoned town. It became a place in between. As the houses emptied, stories filled the space. People started asking questions. Was the fire really an accident? Could it have been prevented? Why had it been ignored for so long? Naturally, conspiracy theories followed. Some believed the fire was triggered by negligence that no one wanted to admit to. Others claimed there were hidden tunnels, experiments, or secrets buried underground. And when a town loses its people, it gains a mythology. Centralia stopped being just a cautionary tale, became a symbol of disappearance, of life slowly erased without a single dramatic moment to point to. But here's the part that makes Centralia different from every other abandoned town in America. The fire never stopped. Decades passed and it was still burning. Engineers tried to smother it with dirt. They tried digging trenches to isolate it. They tried flooding sections of the mine. Nothing worked. The fire simply moved. It crept through coal seams no one could reach, changing direction, surfacing in new places without warning. Officials eventually admitted the truth. The fire could continue to burn for hundreds of years, long after the last families had left, long after the buildings had collapsed, and long after anyone remembered what Centralia used to be. Beneath empty streets, ground dead hot. Cracks continue to open overnight, and smoke continues to appear where none had been there the day before. The town was not abandoned. It was been eaten from below. Despite numerous no trespassing signs, people still go to Centralia. And what they talk about afterward is rarely the place itself, but rather what they felt while they were there. Visitors describe a silence that doesn't quite feel empty. It's like sound itself has been held back. They hear whispers carried by the wind, voices too faint to make out words, but clear enough to make you turn around, convinced someone is standing just behind you. Others report footsteps that don't match their own, movement at the edge of their vision, or tall, dark shapes forming briefly in the smoke before dissolving at the moment they're noticed. Shadow people. And that's when the stories turn darker. That Centralia isn't just a place emptied by fire, but rather one marked by it. That something was opened up beneath the town, something that lingered after people were gone. Some say that the town wasn't abandoned at all. They say it was claimed by the devil himself. Centralia isn't just a strange story, it's a real example of how a town can disappear without a single defining moment. There was no evacuation siren, no sudden disaster, just a slow accumulation of risks that made everyday life impossible to continue. As the underground fire spread, homes became unsafe, schools closed and basic infrastructure failed, until staying no longer made sense. Over time, residents were relocated, properties were bought out by the government, and streets that once carried daily routines were left empty. The fire is still burning beneath the town, and officials said it may continue for generations, long after Centralia has faded from memory. So what do you think? Is Centralia haunted because of what happened there? Or because of the stories we've built on top of real tragedy? If you want more stories where history and the unexplained blur together, subscribe, because the next one is even stranger.